Hi, my name is Elizabeth Grace, and if you found me through my TikTok, A Room with Perfume, then welcome. That's where I've made all of my content so far, but I've always loved fragrance YouTube and the ability to listen to more about the notes and have the fragrance really be described in detail. So I'm so excited to be making my first video. Today's is going to be my top 10 fragrances for fall winter, cooler weather fragrances. It's a mix of niche and designer, maybe mostly niche, but let's get into it. If you have followed me on my TikTok, you've heard me talk about this fragrance ad nauseam. Treasure is the very first mise en serre that I ever tried. I was traveling and I got a sample, ended up wearing it that night to dinner. I don't think I've ever gotten stopped so many times for a fragrance. Like, multiple women came up to me, and one woman was talking to me and ended up ordering it on her phone while we spoke. So it has just the most gorgeous, like, sillage, scent trail. It's got a kind of mineral-like vanilla, some white florals. There's a slight powderiness to it. It's warm. It's a very non-gourmand vanilla, and it does have those white florals as well. It's not too sweet. It's very fluffy and airy. Absolutely stunning. I would say definitely one of my most complimented scents and one of my most loved. If I had to narrow down my collection to, just 3 or 4 scents, this would definitely be among them. The Perfumes de Marly de Lina Exclusive, and this fragrance is just it's like I took off the lid and I can already smell it. It's such a special perfume. To me, this is always what I gravitate towards when I have a special event. Anything where I want to feel really dressed up and like I want my fragrance to make an impression. So notes in here, and I'll have them up on the screen, but the notes are rose, there's oud, there's amber, vanilla. It's a bit powdery, it's very warm, a little bit woody. It has that warmth and sweetness from the vanilla, but it's not too vanilla dominant, and I just think this is such a beautifully kind of warm, feminine, floral. It's perfect for fall, winter. It always gets compliments, leaves a beautiful scent trail. I think it's just so special. Next is Chanel's Coco Noir, and I just think this fragrance is such an underrated Chanel fragrance. I feel like everyone talks about Coco Mademoiselle, the Chance line, and I think Coco Noir is so beautiful. It's kind of got an airy quality to it. It's not too sweet. There's rose, there's some woods, there is patchouli in here, but it's not too heavy of a patchouli. There's a bit of spice. I think there's a note of clove, and nothing is too much. It just comes off like this kind of sophisticated. It matches the bottle for sure, but it's not too sweet and not too heavy, but it does kind of have an evening-like quality to it. I think this is so beautiful for date nights. My husband absolutely loves this one on me. I always mix it as well with the matching body cream. The Chanel body creams are so potent and really help make the fragrance a bit more intense and long-lasting, because this one isn't a crazy projector. It sits relatively close to the skin, so I like mixing it with that body cream to add a little bit of oomph. I just think it's so classy. It's very kind of dry, woody, rose, spicy. It's not really vanilla heavy. It's not really sweet. It's not cloying at all. It's really, really beautiful, and probably one of my top 2 favorites from Chanel. This one is definitely the most gourmand on the list. This is La Danza del Libellule. I think I pronounced that right. This is a gourmet caramel apple. Like, exactly like a gourmet caramel apple. And this is definitely more gourmand than any other scent that I'm going to talk about, or any other scent that I wear. Normally I don't go for like actually smells like food gourmands. But this one is just so kind of special and comforting. It is, initially when you spray, kind of a crisp apple. It's very bright. It's not artificial smelling. It smells very realistic and very crisp and bright, and then you get those kind of warm caramelly notes. There is a note of cinnamon listed, but I don't get cinnamon from this fragrance at all. If you were going to compare this to Angel Share, because the notes look kind of similar, this one is quite a bit lighter, more less spicy, less heavy, not boozy like Angel Share. It really does smell like crisp, fresh apple that you've cut open, that has been drizzled all around the outside with a warm, gourmet brown butter caramel. Duquesa by Griti Privé, and this is by far and away my favorite cherry fragrance on the market. I'm so picky with cherry fragrances. So many other cherry fragrances, I find that the cherry note doesn't last throughout the life of the fragrance, and this one it's so strong. I just took off the cap. I can smell it already. It is beautiful, and it also has this gorgeous saffron note. It smells like what I wanted Lost Cherry to be, mixed with kind of what I wanted Baccarat to be. Baccarat's just a touch too much of that burnt sugar note for me personally, but it has that gorgeous saffron note that Baccarat kind of has, and a beautiful tart cherry. I sprayed this on my coat one night, and it was like the whole rest of the night I was getting wafts of that tart cherry note, so it lasts so well. It's got kind of some white florals, I think, as well, and a bit of an almond note. It's almost like you've got a little glass of a really high quality cherry liqueur with a little almond biscotti beside it. But this one is not a super fruity gourmand. This one does smell like a fragrance, but it is a beautiful, beautiful cherry scent. Like I said, I'm very picky. So if you haven't found a cherry fragrance that works for you, I highly recommend you can sample this on Lucky Scent, and I have a code down below. Guerlain's Mon Guerlain. I absolutely adore this fragrance. I bought a little bottle, ran all the way through it, and then bought a big one, and I've already in about a year gone through almost half the bottle. So I think this one is so stunning. It is mostly kind of a tonka bean vanilla with lavender. The lavender obviously after some time kind of dissipates, and you're left with a very warm, kind of creamy vanilla and tonka bean. I think it's so relaxing. I love to wear this to bed. The lavender in here is beautiful. I wish it lasted a little bit longer. It doesn't have amazing longevity and protection, but it is beautiful, worth reapplying to me. I also think they make this in a body lotion, so maybe you could layer, but it's a very, very calming scent. I think it's so stunning and really could be worn year-round. I wear it more in the fall and winter. Fragrance du Bois Santal Complete. My friend Anna Lauren on here, who I'm absolutely obsessed with, her videos are just incredible, kindly sent this over to me because she knew it was on my wish list. This is a beautiful, creamy sandalwood fragrance. To me, I feel like it's not incredibly sandalwood dominant. It doesn't have that strong, sharp, almost sandalwood note that, a Santal 33 or other sandalwood dominant fragrances have. It's a very kind of creamy, powdery, warm, sweet sandalwood fragrance. There's a coconut note in here. There's plenty of kind of warm vanilla touches. Very soft. It smells like being enveloped in a cashmere blanket to me. Just warm, cozy. I will say, I think for the price, the longevity could be better. A second Mise en Zere fragrance. This is For Your Love, and I feel like this is definitely one of their most well-known scents. This one gets compared to Baccarat Rouge, and while I don't think that they smell alike, they share some similarities. Baccarat has that very burnt spun sugar quality, and this one doesn't have that burnt sugar note, but it does, I think, share the kind of ambroxan that's in Baccarat, as well as kind of a clean, fluffy raspberry. It's not too sweet. This is absolutely stunning. It has crazy, crazy performance as well. The raspberry is not a syrupy raspberry. It's almost like, I've ever had like a dessert at a really nice restaurant where they took like flash freeze-dried or nitrogen freeze-dried, nitrogen frozen, whatever, raspberries, and it almost creates like a raspberry dust. That is how I would describe the raspberry note in this perfume. And it's got that warm, ambery ambroxan that we all, love in Baccarat. Less sweet and more fresh, I would say. I think it's very kind of warm and romantic smelling. Dama Bianca by Xerjoff. This is a fluffy, powdery vanilla with a kumquat note. There's iris and violet. There's a malt note as well, so it kind of has this warm quality. Every time I have worn this, someone has been like, you smell incredible, please tell me what you're wearing. So I think it just projects better than you'd think, but in a soft way. So this is like warm, feminine, delicate, kind of powdery, creamy, fluffy. All of those are words that come to mind when I smell this fragrance. This could absolutely be a signature scent, I think, if you love vanilla, but you want something that's year-round. I do tend to wear it more in the fall and winter. Intense Cafe by Menthol, I have this adorable little tiny bottle. Like all menthol fragrances, this has insane performance. It projects so well. To me, this is, you went to some artisanal coffee shop and you got some specialty latte that has, you know, rose in it. It's foamy and milky and frothy, and maybe there's a touch of coffee, and that's mostly what I get from this. It has maybe vanilla syrup in it as well. So this is a creamy, warm vanilla with rose. I think it is really, really beautiful. So those are my top 10 fragrances for fall and winter. Some of them I do wear year-round as well, but some of them I wear more in the fall and winter. I have all of my links to shop these down below, as well as my discount codes. Thank you so much. If you stuck around to the end of this video, let me know if you are here from my TikTok. I want to hear in the comments and say hi, and comment down below what videos you would be interested in me making.